Jonathan is examining 3 instruments in this short film. He'll be looking at the Matteo Sella's Chitarra Battente, that's 1638, made in Venice. He's also looking at 2 mandolinos, one of which is Neapolitan, he believes, the other of which is Milanese or made in Milan. The Chitarra Battente is a lovely, delicate-looking instrument, but it was actually played quite vigorously in a strumming action. The 2 mandolinos are of particular interest, one because it may very well be a cannibalised version of another instrument, and Jonathan is puzzled by it. He would probably like to do more research, but you will see his thinking will emerge during this short film.
But I would say it's a mandolin, probably a Napolitan mandolin. It's been modified. There's a few modifications, but it's very interesting because most of these mandolins will have either 4 double courses or 6 double courses. This one's got 5 double courses, which is very uncommon. Whether that's original or not, makes more research, but it's interesting. The neck has been also altered.
In which way?
I think this is one generation, and I'm almost tempted to say that the head was from a different instrument, and then it was attached to this instrument. It's a tricky one. It feels like the ball should be for a different instrument, and then the peg head is the head is definitely mandolin, Napolitan mandolin, 1830, and very likely from the Filano or Vinaccia family. Like it's typical of that kind of like region and period. But it's got this 19th century feeling to the decoration, which was a typical thing like Leopoldo Franciolini would do, and I think the Van Raalte bought things from Franciolini.
Right.
So if you see the decoration of the ivory and ebony, both here and here, it ends too abruptly. I had a feeling this was a longer pattern, and it was reapplied to this. And then this is not typical of the period or the space. This feels more like 19th century furniture. So I have a feeling this was applied later. This though is typical from Naples. So from the 1830s. Now most of Napolitans will have a bend here, but this, if it's an old one, it's fine that doesn't have it. Now, this bridge feels Napolitan, but this doesn't feel it. And this also could be an application from a different piece of furniture. Napolitans usually have these two, but instead of like a solid piece of ivory, you would have paste with mother of pearl. So it feels a little bit like a Frankenstein, a beautiful one. But it's one of those that, if I had the time, I would sit down and do some good research for kids, because it is a nice instrument. It just feels Franciolini had a hand on it. I don't know if it was him particularly, but it feels like it. Did you know that there is registered records of how the Van Raalte bought the instruments?
I'm not aware of that. There's some, for Lord Howard Walden's Arms and Amber, we know that he, the people who he collaborated with and the people who were agents for him, but I'm not aware of, we don't have any information with regards to the Van Raalte. It may be that in the Walden archives there may be something. but no.
Because it feels like Franciolini, and Franciolini was a musical instrument dealer right there, and pretty much anyone that was someone was buying from him. Like, there is almost no museum in Europe that doesn't have a Franciolini. He was selling to high-end customers, and his instruments have this feeling very, very often, that feeling of it's all there but it's not. Only if you know what you're looking, you find these little inconsistencies, and it's like, yeah, like that. Like, why would you finish? If you're carving this much work, either you make the pattern smaller or you stretch it. Like, if you started from scratch, there's no reason why you would cut there. Like, there is enough room to just finish your scroll. No? Do you know if this one is going on display?
Yeah, that one's going out, I'm sure it is.
It's got the wrong strings. They should be got.
Metal.
Yeah.
Like metal strings,
And the frets need to be
yes.
redone.
Yeah.
That is again, like a couple of hours of work that would make a huge difference. It's probably more expensive the gods than the work to have it done. But it would look nicer with the right
It kind of stands out, doesn't it?
set.
Right, that's great. Other than that, I think there's nothing wrong with it on the back or anything like that.
No, it looks
I mean, I can open up the case, no problem. Whatever.